Hey, y'all. Welcome back. I didn't know if I was going to go live again tonight, but we are here. And this is a message in divine timing whenever it's meant to catch you. It's a timeless reading. All right. I've pulled out quite a few decks. And we're going to pull some pineapple charms, which I will timestamp. So if you do want to fast forward through the charms in the replay, you can. Hey, Risa. You can fast forward through the charms, but sometimes the charms have messages in and of themselves. Pineapple charming is a discernment pineapple loaded with thousands of charms at this point. And it is to help you discern, because not every message is for everybody. And so pineapple charming, if the charms resonate with you, one or more, then chances are there is something in the message for you. Okay. So take it as it resonates. If none of the charms resonate, that's fine. Just make sure that you are trusting your own discernment. All right. Thank you, Charming. Hey, Rita. How you doing? You had a feeling I'd be back, didn't you? All right. So let's see. We've got one of our mood clouds here. It's our chilly cloud. So someone might be feeling rather emotionally cold or turned off. We've also got the frog here who's wearing our fancy little bow tie. And it reminds me of someone who wants to be a prince or princess, take it as it resonates, but isn't. We've also got our mushroom charm. So mushrooms can be very powerful healing medicine. They could also be really toxic, and they could send you on what feels like a Twilight Zone trip. We've also got our pink diamond. So pink gemstones might be significant for you. We've also got a sausage or kielbasa. So, you know, you may be Italian, you may be Polish, maybe German. We've got our Vicks Vapor Rub. So you may be feeling a little bit under the weather or be dealing with allergies or a cold or just having trouble breathing, or someone you know is. We've got two of our chained hearts too. They're gold. So masculine energy, and we've got pink and we've got black. So this is potentially friendship with the pink heart. It's love that feels trapped regardless because they're chained. But it's also a trauma bond. The black hearts are trauma bonds, and gold is masculine. The silver ones are also in there for feminine, but these ones are both gold. So you may have a trauma bond with someone you care a lot about, but maybe there's no romantic feelings. All right. Even if you are in an actual partnership with someone, it might feel more like a friendship love than it does a romantic love. But either way, there's caring there, and there's trauma there, and there's a trapped feeling there. Okay. We also have the World card. So nod to Saturn, Saturnian energy, and fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. I'm also hearing the archangels. So 444 may be significant if it's popping up for you. And or you need the reminder that it's okay to reach out to and pray to your angels. We also have our rocket ship. So rockets may be synchronistic and popping up in your environment. It could also be a nod to Aquarian energy. Let's see, we have a measuring cup as well. So potentially baking. And I'm also seeing that it's like 1 + 1 = 2. So maybe logic, maybe relationships are more of a science for you. I've also got the clothes iron. That may have been your Monopoly piece, your favorite piece. If you ever played Monopoly and you remember the iron, may also be work-related jobs that require you to look very put together. We've also got the black starfish. It's kind of like a dark blue on camera. So blue may be significant. You may have traveled or been across the oceans or miss being around it. We've also got the passport here. So you may have one or be at a distance from where I am in the middle of the United States. You may be somewhere else in the world. Micro playing cards. I've got the 9 of Hearts and the Jack of Spades. Tarot equivalents are the 9 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So there may be some kind of communication that wants to come through about a wish, like wish fulfillment. Or there's a wish that someone would communicate with you, or that you could communicate with someone. Zodiac beads. I've got Aries, Cancer, and Taurus. So they may be significant to you in your big 3. You may also have your Saturn placement in one of those signs, because we do have the World card out here. But it could be any significant placement. And then for letters, don't get hung up on the colors per se. It's just some people need it that kind of specific. So pink is for girls and blue is for boys, though it doesn't matter to me what you resonate as long as it makes sense to you. White is yang, or masculine dominant energy regardless of gender, and black is yin, which is feminine dominant energy regardless of gender. We've got blue D, white E, and black Y. D, E, and Y. Delaware may also be significant, or any other abbreviations that D, Y, or E might be significant to. I've also got the word dye, like dyeing clothes, D-Y-E. And I feel like someone might be having a change of color. Maybe your chakra energy is opening up a bit. Maybe your aura is going through changes. All right, so those are the charms. We're going to timestamp it here and get into the message. So I've got my Harrow cards. I've got my energy alignment cards, or my hand-drawn cards. Slip the tongue. I might as well pull my energy alignment deck out. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot for some insight. Whatever you need in your highest good for the situation. And, oh, thanks, Rita. I just saw your last comment. Thanks. And then for guidance, I've got the Crystal Mandala Oracle, the Magical Spirit Oracle, and our lovely Spiritual as Fuck cards. All right. Y'all, I come with a warning, okay? If you're new here, I am a fan of profanity. We talk about adult things, so don't be surprised. All right. Don't be surprised. All right. So let's see what is actually going on. Am I rolling the dice? This is not an Astro dice reading, but Spirit's guiding me to roll the dice. We're going to see what comes out. I've got all 3 of them. Let's just see real quick. Gemini, Neptune, first house. You may be a Gemini rising. You may have a 1-degree Neptune. Neptune and Gemini might be a far stretch. I doubt it. You might be really, really, really fucking old. Like, you probably shouldn't be on this earth if it's Neptune and Gemini. But you may have some significant Neptunian placements, and or Neptune being in Pisces retrograding is affecting your chart. Okay. You may also have Neptune in the first house or affecting your first house. Gemini is significant. Okay. It could also be Piscean energy with Neptune and Aries with the first house. So Gemini, Pisces, Aries. Okay. Gemini also rules Mercury, which will be retrograding shortly in real life time. And it rules the third house. Neptune and Pisces rule the 12th house. So those three signs in either of those three houses, Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars may be significant in your chart. Mars dominant, Mercury dominant, Neptune dominant. All right. All right. What's going on? What is going on? Spirit, please, for who needs this message in divine time in their highest good, whenever it is meant to catch them. What do they need to know? What do they need insight into? Whether it is in their own personal experience or something they need to know about someone else who is connected to their energy in some way, shape, or form. Mind you, readings can give you insight into the past to help you have aha moments in the present. They can be predictive, and they can most definitely describe what is going on now. So whatever works for you is how it is meant to work. So what is going on? Okay. Empty throne is on the bottom. That came up recently in one of our readings. And the locksmith, who has been making appearances in multiple different readings. That is the top and bottom. Let's get some further insight into these three energies. Spirit, please clarify further the liar. Clarify the liar. What else do we need to know about their energy? We've got the pedestal and the open door. Clarify further the fiend. Clarify further the fiend and the energy around them. The dream. And clarify the vision. The angel. And the chrysalis. Top of the deck is the purity. Bottom of the deck is the sun. Two powerfully positive cards. Like that. All right. Energy alignment cards. These are a deck of my own creation. They're super simple. They've got chakra colors on one side and shadows on the other. All right. Clarify the fiend. And clarify the vision. Okay. Caring again makes its appearance on the top of the deck. Bottom of the deck is facade, wears a different mask for everyone they meet. All right. Being's the liar is the first card out. I would not be surprised. We are dealing with a shadow chameleon. Okay. All right. The first energy, we've got the Liar with pedestal and open door. It came out with guilt-ridden and fair in reverse. So unjust or radical extremes would be the upright shadow. All right. This energy. This is definitely someone who is opportunistic. I think with the open door and the pedestal, I think they knew someone kind of misjudged their energy and they took full advantage of it. The Liar is a chaotic evil aligned card, chaotic shadow. It says it is love at its most treacherous. This is not the love that moves mountains. This is the love that rips the heart in two and causes lovers to leap to their deaths. This lamia means obsession, unrequited passion, or doomed love. Whoever this person is, they were put on a pedestal and took an opportunity. They are, in fact, ridden with guilt, and it causes a lot of radical extremes because I think they know they're using someone. And as heartless as they are reading, a part of them psychologically or deep in soul knows what they're doing is fucked up, but they're very consciously aware of the choice they're making and they're continuing to choose it. This is evil aligned energy. Someone definitely is taking advantage of the fact that someone puts a high value on them. But I feel like they don't feel valuable at all. It's a rather worthless energy, but they like being on the pedestal. They like being in control. They see right through someone. And I do feel like there's lust involved. Like someone may have been super, super attracted physically to someone else and or them, like that was physically attracted to them and put them on this pedestal. But they're an opportunist and they don't actually have any love at all. And whoever is investing in them and putting them on the pedestal is probably doubled down, probably tripled down, quadrupled down, continues to try and reach for this person. But I think the more they invest, like this is the kind of love that causes people to leap to their deaths. Like I think to invest so much in someone who is a black hole only to realize all of your light's been sucked away and that you've squandered yourself with this person. They plummet people to all-time lows. All right, so you have to understand that about person number one. They are a shadow catalyst, right? Chaotic evil is chaotic shadow. And because it's a charisma card, they might have a way with words. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever type of communication style they have is effective for them. Whether they're charming or vicious, it doesn't matter where they fall on the spectrum. However they communicate, it works for them. It keeps them on the pedestal. Okay, that's person number one. Person number two, it's a strength card, the Fiend. It's lawful evil or contracted shadow. It depicts a devil swallowing innocence. It can indicate the deaths of many in great calamity, or if misaligned, the salvation from some calamity. The fiend can also indicate that some sort of dark and intelligent creature is in the area endangering the populace. So whoever the fiend is, they are in the vicinity of the liar. I don't doubt that. But I think that there's others involved, directly or indirectly, in their dynamic that are suffering because of it. And this person may feel or deem themselves to be highly intelligent, maybe more intelligent than person number one. And it's actually brutal psychologically to accept the idea that person number one got over on them, because I feel like they feel like person number one is beneath them in some way. And so to put person number one on a pedestal or try and save person number one, to accept that they've been manipulated or used or were stupid enough to believe in person number one, I think this person has a hard time swallowing that. They had a dream, right? They came out with the dream as that Piscean energy. May have really strong Pisces in your chart. They might. Person number two. They came out with the shadows detached and aloof and disrespectful. This person, I feel like they have tunnel vision. And I feel like the disrespect is to themselves in their tolerance of person number one, who is straight up disrespecting them in the dream that they have. I feel like they've almost disassociated. Like they have a hard time believing that their reality is what it is. Spirit saying fighting for a lost cause, but they don't want to see it. They're fighting for a lost cause and they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it. The divine sees, though. With the locksmith and the empty throne being on the top and bottom of the deck, there's some kind of wisdom key or some kind of Chiron lesson that they're learning about martyring the self. And people who take advantage of the healing or take advantage of the light energy, take advantage of the abandonment wounds that they have. I think that is the problem. Person number two, and person number one for that matter, might have serious abandonment wounds. I'm talking to person number two, though. They're connected because of it, but person number two has an abandonment wound. And they're afraid. I think they chose someone who is an opportunist, because the opportunist is not going to abandon them. The opportunist is going to take advantage of them until they break, right? Until their last breath. The opportunist is going to milk them for all they're worth. And so they paired up with an opportunist because the opportunist would never leave them. They have an abandonment wound, a fear of not being wanted. And so they connected with someone who needs them. The problem with that is there's no love there. just need. And I feel like with the empty throne, there's someone from the past or the ghost of someone's energy or the ghost of their memory that is playing on them, who may have shown them what to do to heal from a Chiron wound. Someone who was maybe in that kind of dynamic with them at one point. Because it's a ghost, right? The empty throne is about the ghost of someone who used to sit on the throne, or who could have, should have, would have been on the pedestal, but wasn't. The pedestal was given to the liar. Underneath the empty throne is the courtesan, and it's about an energy who, it deals with social niceties, but as long as you play nice with the courtesan will play nice with you. If you screw the courtesan, the reality that happens, it's like smiting good energy, you know, smiting an angel, right? The angel here, the keep is under that. May have been someone that they at one time lived with, but it blew apart. It blew apart because of Rakshasa energy. The Rakshasa is someone who enslaves others or feels entitled. Someone who sits on the backs of others and uses them. So if that was the case, and the fiend at one point dealt a serious blow to the courtesan, who should have been on the pedestal, and it blew apart, I think they're reaping karmic lessons with person number one. The vision, this is the third energy. The third energy is the vision. Hey Lala, how are you? With the angel and the chrysalis, and it came out with financially sound and protective. So all light cards. This person, I feel if they were tied to person number two, they may have been labeled as someone who betrayed them, but it's not true. They were protecting themselves from the shadows that were unhealed in person number two. They were protecting themselves from their shadows. They didn't betray person number two. I think person number two betrayed themselves with this person. The vision is a chaotic neutral energy. It represents arcane knowledge, and such knowledge can take the form of madness or cryptic words. The card often means an encounter with a crazy person, but can also signify a brush with genius. Person number two may have thought that person number three was crazy or talking out of their ass about certain things. Hey, Tanya. They might have thought or assumed that person number three was crazy, and yet they're brilliant. Like this is a spiritual genius, right? This is a spiritual genius who is maybe going through their chrysalis stage with person number two at the time, only to emerge the angel, right? They're financially sound and super protective. Like if person number two were to have stayed with person number three, it would have been divine protection. But I don't think they did. I think person number two was wearing a mask with person number three. But person number three never wore the mask. Person number three gets divine downloads, right? They're like divine touched. And so because person number 2 didn't drop the facade, didn't drop the mask or the lies or the detached, aloof, disrespectful shadow that they showed person number 3, they found themselves wildly attracted to person number 1 because they needed the lesson. They thought they were attracted to person number 1 and that the chemistry was bomb or whatever, but the reality is they were extremely attracted to the lesson. Their soul desired to learn and heal more than anything else, and they weren't receiving the ability. Let me rephrase that. The ability to heal and receive high energy with the angel. They were pushing it away instead of embracing it and reciprocating. They disrespected the angel, which is like the courtesan. They should have been on the throne. And so they had to learn a lesson about why certain people deserve to be put on that pedestal, earning the pedestal. Maybe they themselves didn't earn it when they were with the angel, especially if the angel was in fact protecting them. They didn't realize it at the time. I definitely feel like they could have been pegged as someone who betrayed them when they didn't, or that they were deemed financially irresponsible, right? They were misjudged because those are the shadows on the back, right? Judas and financially irresponsible. If this person is in their shadow, right, and they were having a hard time healing, they would have been projecting this energy in their thoughts about person number 3 that way, thinking they were a betrayer, thinking they were a Judas type archetype, thinking they were financially irresponsible when they weren't, right? Financially sound, grounded, protective, creative energy. This whole thing is about purifying the light and the stars under that. It's about healing. It's about going deep with the fish under that. When it comes to eclipsed energy and being with people who steal your light, right? The broken mind. When we see there's a literal shadow person right in front of you, but you register them as an angel. That's what's happening with the liar, right? Someone put the liar on a pedestal and they're clearly a shadow person, but person number 2 may have been registering them as an angel. This is what needs to heal. Why would you believe that a demon is an angel, so to speak, unless you had healing to do with your own demons? That is the only reason why you would be attracted to a shadow person, if you were healing and dealing with your own shadows. They have a disconnect, right? They have a disconnect from reality. So let's see. Let's see what's going on. Insight, please, into the situation. What does the viewer need to know about the situation? You know, even as we're talking about Chiron and the key, right? The locksmith, like Chiron has the abandonment wound. It's a mother wound, right? They were the product of a really horrible RAPE, right? And their mother, Chiron's mother, discarded them like trash and abandoned them. And it didn't matter what Chiron did. He never won the favor or the validation or the acceptance from his mother after that. It was a whole traumatic experience. You know, Chiron was discarded because the whole experience of bringing him into the world was traumatic for them. And so there's this abandonment wound inherent in Chiron that goes above and beyond to heal the shadows and other people to their own detriment. So when we're dealing with Chiron energy and the healing of Chiron energy as a detriment in the chart, You have to understand Chiron will go above and beyond and negate red flags to try and heal someone, only to end up taking what feels like fatal wounds in the process. Wounds and pain that never seems to go away because you gave your all and your all was not enough, right? This is the shadow of Chiron. And if you're healing through Chiron wounds, and I believe person number 2 is doing that with person number 1, and may have learned about it with person number 3, because I think person number 3 was in that energy with them as person 2. Person number 2, to their own detriment and their own pain, showed person number 1 what Chiron healing looks like and how to get out of it. And flourished after that, right? They emerged from the chrysalis, the angel. They had a revelation, right? The divine touched them and gave them a revelation about the Chiron wound and how to heal it. They stepped away from whoever they put on the pedestal. They stepped away. They started to value themselves. They were abandoning their own self for someone else and stopped. They stopped. They stopped abandoning themselves for someone else. They stopped making person number 2 their purpose. They made themselves their purpose, right? Instead of abandoning the self, they liberated the self. That is the opposite energy of it. Instead of focusing on the healing of others, they focused on the healing of the self. They found their worth or their purpose or their place inside themselves. Person number 2 is meant to learn from person number 3's lead. What is going on, Spirit? What specific insight do we have into the situation? What is going on? Wheel of Fortune, Hierophant, King of Cups. Jupiter energy, Taurian energy, Piscean energy, and or Cancerian energy. And Cancer did come out in the charms. 6 of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Give me some clarities, please. Someone came off of pause. Give me one more. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles is on the bottom. Ace of Swords is on the top. Set fire to the rain. Fuck yeah, Lala. Yeah, I know. Me too. I've been there. I'm glad I ain't in that energy no more either. 7 of Pentacles on the bottom. 6 of Pentacles and King of Pentacles is under that with the Lover's card and the Emperor. I feel like someone felt like they could pull the strings, that they could make something grow if they just poured enough energy into it or enough money. 6 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. The Emperor. They might use money as a form of control. or money as a form of manipulation, like a manipulation tactic. But they don't realize how much stress it causes them. Like, money only goes so far. If you're dealing with an opportunist, it never gets deep. It never goes beyond the surface, and it never goes beyond money. Someone just following the trail of money and going wherever the money is. Yeah, someone was following the money trail. And they weren't getting deep. Chasing coin. And they saw the love in someone. And they were, yeah, they took the opportunity. Because they didn't want to be without financially. 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Swords. Being impoverished or being without money scares them. I think we're talking about person number 1 there. But person number 2 would also be afraid of not having money because that might be the only thing they think they're good for. If they have a negative self-vision, which I'm sure they would if they're turning away angels and going after and falling in love with shadows and pedalizing shadow people. They have a very poor vision of themselves. The Wheel of Fortune with the 9 of Pentacles, someone freed themselves. Someone became sovereign and cut somebody else's energy off. Fate change. There was some kind of freedom. Some kind of wisdom that came in, right? The owl on the card. Really, someone rolled the dice and got lucky. Someone took a leap of faith. She's got dice around her neck. Those are dice there. And it's 6 and 5. 6 and 4. 10, right? Duh. Wheel of Fortune's 10 card. But they closed a chapter, right? They closed it. They mastered their light and their shadow. They mastered their shadow. Their shadow is not in control of them anymore. And that is where the angel comes in, because they have all light cards, right? There's no more shadow with them. They have all positive energy cards. They mastered their shadow. They took a leap of faith on sovereignty and moved ahead, more than likely solo, from person number 2. The Hierophant with the 10 of Swords. They learned deep spiritual lessons about self-betrayal and pain. Divine high lessons. Mastery of the mind, right? The 10 of Swords completes the swords. They moved forward with the lessons. They gained it. And it is like something to laugh about, you know, like looking back in hindsight, it's almost hilarious how much importance they placed on such people, like person number 2, who were disrespectful or misjudging them, right? Contracted shadow. It's divine humor, right? If you think about tragedy and comedy, it's divinely humorous. They are free. The King of Cups with the Page of Wands, they became their own emotional guru. They became their own healer. a seer in their own right. They reinvented themselves. The Page of Wands is Phoenix energy. There's that starfish synchronicity there. They became a seer. They crowned their emotions and took their feelings seriously. How they felt, not about someone, but on the inside. Like if something was painful to be with, they took that realization seriously and said, this is painful. They acknowledged it and reinvented themselves. They moved forward, right? The Six of Swords, they moved forward and came off pause. The Two of Wands in the reverse. Upright, it's pause. In the reverse, it's momentum. It's moving forward to the next step. Someone came off of that crossroads energy and moved. If you look at the different blackbirds here in the card, right? The Ten of Swords, they took that pain and let it direct them in the right direction, right? Getting out of the tumultuous energy that is the Ten of Swords and move to a calmer state of beings. The Queen of Wands is a creatrix, right? She's an intuitive creatrix. She's a visionary who knows how to receive what she wants. And so taking that step forward, intending to receive what they truly desire because what they had wasn't it. And they realized it. Like it's laughable. It's laughable in hindsight. It was justice to the devil who was not listening to their intuition and defending themselves. We got the devil with justice, the Seven of Wands, and the High Priestess in reverse. They're like, oh, look, there's my light. I found it. I big banged in the darkness, right? There's my light. And the devil got dealt justice for not listening to their intuition and defending their attachments, defending their shadow. They were defending their shadow. There was a refusal to heal, right? Person number 2 refused the opportunity to heal and was asking person number 3 to come into the shadow with me. And they said, no, see my light? Look how pretty my light is. It was a victory. It was a victory moment. It almost reminds me of them sitting on a clamshell. Like, I know that's not what it is, but that's just a vision I got. Like, they're the pearl. They took the pain, they took the grit of experience and turned it into something really valuable. This is someone who turns pain into power. They were horribly misjudged by person number 2. Horribly underestimated. They're on the pedestal. They're on the pedestal. Person number 2 didn't put them there. So person number 3 put themselves there. Because they're not foolish. They're divinely touched. They're protected. And had person number 2 decided to elevate with them or wake up or learn from them to accept the teachings, right? To accept the healing, they would have also been divinely protected. But as soon as they left the angel and betrayed the angel, they weren't divinely protected anymore. And their shadows attached, right, to person number 1. And that's the justice for defending their inability to listen to their own feminine energy. They weren't listening to what feels good. They were chasing a desire, chasing an addiction to the shadow. They're a puppet on strings now. Look at that. That's the justice. They're lost inside their head. Whoever this is, or whatever person number 1 is, that is the justice for whoever was in their shadow. They're learning what it's like to be and become person number 3. That is the goal. That is the divine's goal. To wake up person number 2 to the fact that the only way to get out of the pain that they're in is to become person number 3. To learn from person number 3, to accept the teachings of person number 3, to apply the lessons of person number 3. If they want the divine's protection, they have to be in that energy. They have to go through the chrysalis. They have to go through the mush phase, the reshaping of the self, or they will absolutely continue to be taken advantage of by person number 1, because person number 1 will never leave. They're an opportunist and they're being put on the pedestal. They'll never leave. Person number 2 has to learn how to defend themselves and their joy. They have to learn how to defend themselves and their joy. They have to be responsive to the truth for what it is, because there's major denial with person number 2. They have to respect themselves. They have to respect themselves. I think person number 3 respected themselves in the face of person number 2. They showed themselves respect when person number 2 wasn't doing it. Person number 2 has to respect themselves now, or they're going to continue to be taken from by person number 1. And it's unjust and radical extreme. Radical extreme. What the fuck is actually going on with these two? Because we understand this in regards to 2 and 3, right? Person 2 and 3. What is actually going on? This is the before tarot. What is going on between person number 1 and person number 2? Just what does that look like? What does that look like? Specifically between person number 1 and person number 2, please, Spirit. Because the truth is the truth. That Ace of Swords was on the top. The truth is the truth. If someone wasn't putting in enough effort and was just taking from someone else, that's the truth. Like, you can lie to people, but you can't lie to yourself or the divine. You can try and convince yourself of lies all you want, but the truth is still the truth. And if you know it, you know it. And you can't deny that fact. 6 of Wands in the reverse. The Devil. The Empress. This is a toxic feminine energy. Could be potentially be a toxic family situation. Someone hasn't pulled the truth from the stone yet. Someone has not accepted the truth yet. They're putting all of this energy, all of this effort into a loss. They're putting all of this work into a loss. Someone hasn't seen the truth about a feminine energy. And I would not be surprised if it is both this energy here and this energy here. Someone is refusing to see the truth about what is being received. They still don't see the shadow for the shadow or the angel for the angel, right? The broken mind, they haven't healed it yet. The Devil is under judgment. The Devil is under judgment. What's the judgment? the Ten of Wands, burden, the Knight of Wands, and the Hierophant. Five of Cups and the Five of Wands. Triple fives. And the Four of Swords. Hermit in reverse. The Nine of Coins. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. Top of the deck is the Seven of Wands. Someone's fucking praying. Someone is praying. Praying for communication. And we talked about that in the charms, right? The Nine of Hearts came out with the Jack of Spades. And I said it might be someone wishing for communication. This is literally someone praying for communication. Praying. Because they don't see a way out. They feel like they have no options. They feel stuck in the contract. Someone dreams about sovereignty. Look, there's the Eight of Cups with the Nine of Cups. Someone wants to move towards the wish. But moving towards the wish requires a lot of strength. It's the Queen of Wands. It's the Queen of Wands. Someone wants to move towards the strength that the Queen of Wands showed. They do want to communicate in a loving way. The Knight of Cups with the Page of Swords. And or they're spying on all the good fortune of the Queen of Wands and the strength of the Queen of Wands and what it's produced for them. Someone is heavily burdened, bearing the crosses of other people. Trying to build the home, right? Trying to build something, but it's nothing but sadness, depression, volatility, arguments, frustration. And they're married to it. They're married to it and they're not doing anything. This is someone who is married to their stagnation. Married to inaction. Who thinks if they don't do anything and they keep just doing what they've been doing, even though what they've been doing hasn't worked, that maybe it'll just magically change one day. Right? We're talking about the keys. The locksmith, the Hierophant has the keys. The Hierophant has the keys. Look at the symbol on the Hierophant shirt here. We were talking about the laughter. See that symbol? It's right here. The Hierophant is a major arcana for Chiron. Someone wants to be sovereign. The Nine of Pentacles, right? Wants to be sovereign, just like this one with the Wheel of Fortune. They were clarifying each other. Someone wants to be sovereign, but they're not putting in the healing. They're not doing the inner digging. And so there's no change. It's not going to magically get better one day. They're stuck. They have no options. They have no options in the contract they're in because they're not choosing to heal. They're not choosing to heal. They're waiting for someone else to create the opportunity for them. But it's not being created because the divine, they fucked with the courtesan, right? They're watching someone reinvent themselves. I feel like they might even be spying on the angel. But whoever person number 2 is, it's almost like they're dead to the angel. Person number 3, they bloom. They're the butterfly. They're not the same person they were before. They took the pain and turned it into power. King of Wands, Sagittarian energy, Aryan energy, High Priestess under that. They mastered their vision. They faced it. They faced the dark wolf. The black wolf is connected to fear, right? The myths of the white wolf and the dark wolf. Whatever wolf you feed becomes stronger. The wolf of fear and the wolf of love. And they faced fear. Fortune is under that. They got out of a very rainy 10 of Cups. It was not the dream. It was not the dream, and they moved forward. They moved forward into the actual 10 of Coins. The sun is under that. I can't make this shit up. Whoever person number 3 is radically healed. Radically healed. Pain into power. Radical levels of shift and healing. They're divinely protected. They're divinely protected because they've chosen that path. They chose to listen to their divinity. They chose to listen to their light. They found their light. They're not divinely protected just because they chose it. It's a choice. Just like being in shadow is a choice, being in light is a choice. Person number 3 chose their light and freed themselves of their shadow, which plummeted person number 2 deep into their Chiron lessons, deep into their divine healing with person number 1. And they will stay stuck there until they take a lesson out of person 3's book and choose to respect themselves and leave. I can't help but feel the stubbornness of whoever this is, though. Like, damn if they're going to be fucking wrong. I think this person thinks they're really fucking smart. I think this person deems themselves intelligent, and they cannot accept the fact that person number 1 has absolutely tricked and manipulated them and used them in every which way, shape, and form. Every which way, shape, and form. They got to be genuine. That is the opposite side of the facade card. They've got to take off the mask and be real with themselves. The truth, this is a throat chakra card. The truth is the truth. And the truth does not change. Divine truth does not change. This is the healing, the purifying contracts that people are moving through. Person number 3 dodged bullets. Dodged bullets. Free, escaped from whatever shadows were plaguing them. They're out. Whatever that ancestral healing was, that karma, that black magic, whatever someone tried to throw at them, they done fucking exploded out of it. Like, nah, bitch. Nope. Person number 3 healed. Like, miracle level. Miracle level. Good night, Risa. Let's get into the guidance. Let's get into the guidance. Spirit, please. What is the guidance for those who would catch this message in divine time? This is the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Passion of the Lion Heart. Goddess Sekhmet and fire agate. Root chakra. That's root chakra work. What else, please, Spirit? This is the Magical Spirit Oracle. What else? We're going to get deeper into this in a minute. I'll read some for you. But I want to get all the cards out first. What else is guidance for those who need it in the highest good right now? What other message would you like to come through for them? Yin and Yang. I am in divine flow and move in divine alignment. And from our Spiritual as Fuck deck, what card above all others, please? What card above all others, please? You are not your situation. You are not your situation. All right. Really, the back. One of the keys. One of the keys to becoming spiritual as fuck is to define who you are by something deeper inside yourself and further outside yourself than the world can touch. You are someone, even if you're not your financial situation, your job, your relationships, or even your body. Find out who that person is and you'll be unfuckwithable. Hint, you'll probably have to do some soul searching. You are not someone, even if you're not your You are someone, even if you're not your financial situation, job, your relationships, or even your body. Who are you? You find out who that person is and you're unfuckwithable. That's what person number 3 did. They realize they're not their situation. They're not their job. They're not the labels. They're not the relationship. They're not even truly human. They're a spiritual being having a human experience. They're divine, right? And because they connected with that energy, they really are unfuckwithable. This is the key, right? You are not all of these things you think you are. You are not your situation. You are not your situation. Yin and Yang. Card number 2. Union. Balanced energy, divinity, and manifestation. The affirmation is, I am balanced and in alignment. Both your feminine and masculine natures are incredibly powerful. However, when they are merged, you become a force to be reckoned with. You cultivate a mystical effect in your life where everything seems to flow in your favor. You become a match with the divine, which holds both polarities in harmonious balance, and this is ultimate power. Do not underestimate or neglect either side of this coin. However, right now you are being called to embrace one side a bit more than usual. You're being asked to find your power in a place where you least expect it, a place you have never gone looking for it. In ancient Chinese philosophy, it is said that when an individual's yin and yang have been separated or out of balance for too long, the individual loses their ability to create, and a period of stagnation settles into their life and spirit. Do you feel you are out of touch with your feminine, your yin moon side? This includes intuition, surrender, softness, and receptivity. It also includes being imaginative, relaxed, open, flexible, nurturing, and introspective. Or maybe with your masculine, yang, or sun side. This includes action, discipline, and structure. It also includes seeking and being productive, logical, excited, hard, unwavering, and extroverted. Being in union with the self. You allow your mind to do what it does, choose. In alignment with what feels good within your feminine, your heart. If your heart is in pain, the choices that you're choosing with your masculine energy are out of alignment. Your masculine energy is choosing experiences that feel painful. You're out of balance. It causes stagnation. It causes situations like person number one and person number two, where they're in this cycle with each other that's sufferable, but it's not going anywhere, right? A refusal to heal, a refusal to look within the self, to listen to the self, right? We were talking earlier about how person number 3 was like, this doesn't actually feel good, and stopped. They stopped choosing it. They chose something different. And the light opened up, right? They found themselves in divine flow when they made it a habit of choosing their masculine energy in alignment with their feel goods. This feels better. I'm going to choose that. This doesn't feel good anymore. All right, let's choose something else, right? Divine flow. When you are in balance with yourself, it is the ultimate power. You become a match with the divine when the polarities are in harmonious balance. You can't underestimate the power of either one. That's the key, right? You are not your situation. You can choose a different situation. You don't have to keep choosing it. You can laugh about it in hindsight, like, wow, I placed so much importance on that, and here I am, seemingly crazy to other people because they haven't learned it yet, right? Crazy is a word that people use to describe things they do not understand. So if people are calling you crazy, it's not because you're crazy, it's because they don't understand you. They don't understand. Person number 3 was called crazy. But the vision, like, they're brilliant. They tuned into the divine. And in return, fortune turned in their favor. They're divinely protected. They've reached that 𝗀𝗲𝗿 energy. They're showing people this is how you do it. This is how you get into alignment with the self, right? So passion of the lion heart. Let me read just a bit of this for you. It says, we bring you the empowerment of passion of the lion heart. Through passion, you will dedicate yourself with an intensity and discipline that may surprise you. Passion is love activated. It is energy that moves you from within and empowers you to act in the world in ways you would not otherwise dare to even consider. Passion gives you strength. It plugs you into the eternal energy of sacred fire and generates the ability to accomplish tasks you once may not have believed possible. With great passion, there can be great pain. The heart that loves wild and open is also the heart that can feel disappointment and doubt most keenly. The empowerment of the lion heart strengthens your heart to recover from any pain through the power of courage, commitment, and bold, loving devotion to what matters most to you. There are those that will be led through life by the cool light of their inner knowing, and those that will be led by their heart, by their dreams and aspirations. Those led by their heart need passionate purpose, a sense of meaningful, motivating desire to gain energy and accomplish great things. They have tremendous divine potential because they are less limited by the constraints of the mind. Where the mind may analyze and reflect and choose to opt out of a particular task, the heart will be moved by compassion and engage fully and completely with what needs to be done, no matter what. If it seems unlikely to succeed, matters not. This is when the bold, daring heart is at its most beautiful, pulling off what seemed to be unlikely or even impossible by sheer force of commitment to what it loves most. The passionate heart needs reassurance too, however. It needs to know it is allowed to love dreams that don't make sense. It is allowed to be daring, to take risks, and to put faith in what can be, even if more logic-oriented minds question the sanity of such an action. Great changes happen when wild dreamers let their love loose in the world. The passion of the lion heart can inspire a meeker soul to find the sassiness and spirit they didn't even know they had, and join the wild lion army of sacred soul warriors fighting with peace for love on this earth. This oracle comes to you with a message. Trust your passion and your heart. Believe in what moves you most. The desires in your heart are there by divine design. They are meant to be as they are. You are here to further your journey of trusting in the heart. Whether that means you have been a raging divine lion for many years or are just starting to wonder if you can turn your quiet truths into a mighty roar, you're being invited to go deeper into the passion of your heart and live with your divine purpose with courage and conviction. If your heart is tired, broken, overwhelmed, despairing, doubting, or suffering from compassion fatigue for others, where you know you will still care, but you can't summon the energy to feel anything in a moment, this oracle should bring you comfort. It is time to rest, heal, and replenish. Your passion has not faded, but you must give yourself the time you need to recover from your remarkable exertions. Allow your passion to motivate you, not burn you out. Take the time you need. Allow the divine to heal you, and know your shining lion heart shall burn bright with energy again soon. Do not doubt the extent and power of the divine's love for you. Nothing can overcome it. It always wins. So empower it to help you with the following healing process. Do not force, but be patient, and give yourself the support you need if you feel guided to do it. The healing process. You can repeat after me out loud if you want, or you can repeat it in your mind after me as I say it aloud for you. It says, I call upon the crystal angel of fire agate and goddess Sekhmet, who love me unconditionally. Thank you for the divine healing empowerment of passion of the lion heart. May all hearts know their true passion through divine grace and unconditional love. May all hearts be empowered according to divine wisdom to express their passion in service to the greatest good. May all hearts be healed through divine compassion. May the truth of love shine fully upon the earth through divine grace and my own free will. So be it. I choose of my own free will through this and any lifetime and through all layers of my entire being to release pain from my heart. All fatigue, doubt, despair, disappointment, and any other memory or associated belief system that would obstruct the expression of my passion in the world in service to the divine plan of love unfolding through divine empowerment and unconditional love. So be it. May divine love awaken sacred passion and love in action fully and completely in the world, according to divine grace and mercy, and in service to the divine feminine wisdom evolving through humanity at this time. So be it. I am a bold, lion-hearted lover of life, fierce with passionate purpose. You are always meant to align with yourself. You are always meant to re-find who you have always been. You are not your situation. You are not your obligations. You are not your labels. You are not the crosses that you bear for other people. You are not a placeholder. You are not meant to suffer. You're not meant to be in pain. You can choose it if you want. That's your divine right and your free will to choose. But you've got angels in this earth. You've met them. And they show the way. You're allowed to have epiphanies. You're allowed to have breakthroughs. You're allowed to be on your knees and rise up in your power. You're allowed to turn the light on. You're allowed to get control of your shadows so that they no longer control you. You can be immersed in your light and be favored and blessed and protected by the divine that is not separate from you. You can be in harmony and love your life. That's your choice too. And that is the message. So whoever needed it, I have faith that it found you in divine time. For everybody who's popped into the live chat, I love you and appreciate you. And everybody who, you know, pops in and leaves me comments in the replay and drops likes on the video and helps me out and the channel out like that so that these messages can reach people who need them at the right time. Thank you for that. Your ripple is beautiful and it's appreciated. Till next time, guys. See you later.